This is Cardinals Singleback wing tight. We've got 3 tight ends, 1 wide receiver, 1 running back. Here we're trying to run the ball and convert short yardage situations. Having multiple tight ends also allows us to block pretty much any of the meta blitzes. A lot of those blitzes that you get out of like nickel formations, and we're gonna force our opponent to respect the run, and also we'll be able to get the ball downfield with passing concepts out of this as well. So here we go. So here we've got a couple runs. We've got inside zone, and if they blitz the inside gaps, then we're going to go to our stretch. So everything is first based off our inside runs. So here we're running stretch. We just follow our blocks to the outside. If the inside linebackers blitz, then we're going to have a numbers advantage on the outside with the stretch. Here we use motion to get a numbers advantage. So in zone, if the man doesn't follow the receiver, then we know we can get a numbers advantage by bringing that guy in the run to that side. So okay, here we're trying this is more of like a trick play. So the fake QB rollout, the fake dive rollout. Here, basically, if you get any kind of man blitz or any kind of situation where the defense is really committing to that outside run, you have this basically this QB run play. And this is just where you're going to get a huge advantage of the numbers. I wouldn't run it every play because sometimes those edge defenders come in. Here we're getting our HB counter weak. Again, we're doing the motion to clear out, and if we get man coverage, then we're trying to just clear out the outside, so we can all have the option to bounce the run to the outside. But ideally, you're focusing on hitting the run inside, but here the hole develops outside, so we just break it out to the outside. And this is ideally what we want. This is almost better than a stretch play. You want to run the ball mostly in this formation. Now we're getting 26 duo. I will link a video that explains why duo runs are really good in this year's Madden. But essentially, it's the blocking logic is just it's a lot better than an inside zone. Inside zone is very easy to shoot gaps, while with duo just the blocking is just a lot better. So you want to think of duo as not as a stretch, but as, again, an inside run, a power run. Yeah, and you just want to follow your blocks. So yeah, basically try to run the ball in a way that you set your blockers up, and then you just cut it back inside. And yeah, just practice essentially. And now we get to our first pass play. Mesh spot. So here you're reading basically a flat area. So the mesh, you're basically reading the mesh with your eyes. If you get man to man, then you're probably going to get a win somewhere in that mesh because of just the defenders colliding with each other. If that's not open, then your second read is to that dig, and you're just high-lowing the mesh and the dig. So again, I'll post resources on how to throw mesh spot concepts and how to understand what you're doing with them. But essentially, the idea is you want to stretch the underneath defenders. So you want to stretch the hook defenders, and you want to create space in the middle of the field to throw the ball. Our spot concept over the middle of the field is open. Here versus man, you got the mesh. Again, the spot concept. And here we have a variation. We're adding a comeback, so we want to attack the sidelines. And here we have the comeback. Comeback wins versus cover 3 versus man. So cover 3, if the curl flat defender takes away the comeback, then we're basically going to throw the drag. The drag will be open every time. Pretty much against any zone, the 1 to 2 read is almost guaranteed. So yeah, so just a really easy play. So if you can throw that comeback, throw it. Force them to defend that deep outside line. Here's another variation. We can put our, I guess our weak side, or we can throw one of their tight ends on a stick nod or some kind of clear out, which can win versus some man-to-man. Here we're going empty. We could put that running back also on a comeback, so it's the same concept on both sides. And if you want to improve the spacing, you can stem the comeback route up a step, and that'll just improve the spacing between the drag and that comeback. And you just read it left to right. 1, 2. Now if I get man-to-man, then I might quickly switch over to the stick nod, just like here, just to make them respect that, because I know I can always throw the comeback anytime, or I can always throw the routes developing on the left side. I know that's always going to be there for me. But I also want to see if I can take advantage of throwing it deep down the middle. That's just a really demoralizing way to attack a defense. And now we're here with probably the main passing concept, and this is dragon spacing. Essentially, you want to flex out your tight end. This is just one version. You want to flex out your tight end, put them on speed out, and now you're just reading. Basically, you just choose a side, and if it's zone coverage, the right side is gonna be the right side's gonna have a lot of opportunities for you. So over here versus, yeah, so if they blitz, this is gonna kill any kind of blitz. So everyone's open, 1, 2, 3. There's so many windows. You just quickly throw it to the open window. Yeah. Here I'm gonna focus more on the slant flat concept. That speed out versus man is gonna also rub any kind of defender who's like in press or is in off coverage trying to get to the slant. So we also want to focus our eyes there as well, because obviously usually the best receiver on the team is the wide receiver, so we're trying to get him the ball as much as possible. Yeah, so here in the red zone or near the goal line, yeah, you don't want to throw that. You don't want to throw that in the red zone as much. If it's wide open, then yes, throw it. But versus zone, it's probably not going to be open. Here versus cover 3, looks like we're getting a cover 3. Yeah, and then over the ball, yeah. So you're basically just reading left to right with that. And here is a cover 2 variation, because cover 2 will kind of slow down this concept, not Tampa 2, but like a very aggressive cover 2. So here, if they don't respect the middle of the field in cover 2, we can always throw that post with the tight end. Yeah, and then it's just basically the same concept earlier. So you've got basically 3 people. You have 3 options underneath in the middle of the field that are spaced out really nicely, and then you've got someone who's threatening the seam. So you might want to put your best tight end at that spot, at that position, just so that you basically have your best vertical threat. as an option. And this variation really works in the red zone. So you can even put them on a stick nod. So any kind of like a seam, anything that will attack that deep middle, so that you're basically high-lowing all the defenders. You're forcing the defenders to cover three parts of the field underneath, and also one deep spot. Here we're going with the kind of like a levels concept. So this is still dragon spacing. So here we're throwing the tight end, one tight end on a streak down the seam. We're reading that first. If that's open, we take it. If not, then we have the slant coming backside, and that seam streak from the tight end is pulling up any safeties, so that now you've got one-on-one on the backside with your deep post receiver. So yeah, and that's our first read. If they blitz or anything, or any kind of like double A mug anything, then you just throw that. And if they don't, and you want to throw that and force them to defend that area of the field. Like if they're playing any kind of zone, you have to make them defend that. Like if you don't throw any routes there, then they have no reason to defend it. And here, this is versus like cover one or some kind of cover one blitz or whatever. So yeah. And then here we're gonna go with like a double slant concept. You bring him in motion, bring him back, and that versus cover zero is almost a guaranteed one play touchdown. Again, basically here, actually this particular combination, again, since cover zero, everyone's open. So the great thing about these plays with lots of tight ends is almost no one gets pressed. So here, another combination, we're going with the zig comeback. So here it's the same. You've got immediately three people open underneath, or three options underneath any kind of zone defense. So I can throw it to the zig real quick. And those are three options underneath that the defense has to defend. And just the spacing of the routes, it just makes it really hard to do that. Here we're going back to our mesh spot concept, but now we're putting the spot on a stick nod, and the quarterback is the fifth option. So instead of that spot route in the middle of the field, so after the drags clear out, you can now run with the QB. I would block probably at least 6 people, so I'd block the running back, just so that you have better blocking, so that you get more double teams against their offensive linemen. Basically, the idea with this is you want to force them to commit resources to defending the QB. So it's not enough that they can cover all our routes. If they want to play man-to-man and anything like that, then they also now have to contend with the QB as almost like the option, almost like a route. Like they have to defend the QB anywhere he goes. So here, if they blitz, as long as you have enough people in protection, you just find yourself a lane and run if you don't see anything open immediately. And that's the great thing about being under center, is that you can almost see the play developing as you're dropping back. And if you don't like anything, if nothing's open immediately, then you're the fifth option, and you just go ahead and score. And if they don't put a spy, then they're done. So this works even if they're running like contains. Like this actually works really well if they're running contains, right? So as long as your offensive lineman can hold up the pressure, there will be a hole. So here we're playing with more of like this one you have to create. So you're gonna basically put everyone in to block except one of your tight ends, and then you're gonna try to create like a double team on the edge, and then roll out in there. So if their user follows like this what's it called, this over route or this deep cross, then you're basically the fifth option. You're the third read in the progression. So you read the clear out, you read the crosser. If the crosser's open, then you throw it. If the user is taking away the crosser, then you're basically the guy in the flat. Or you're the third option. You're basically you are the check down. So if no one's open, then you just run. So here we're trying the same concept. We're trying to get this like a double team. So we're blocking the tight end. We're rolling the protection right. Yeah. So if they don't, and here we do get that double team, and then we're able to throw it. So you're gonna force the user to have to like sprint all the way or do some kind of switch stick something. So the only thing is, yeah, you want to see, you don't want to roll out immediately. You want to look at basically your first read is the offensive line, and then you just want to see where you can run. Really, what you're doing here with these plays is you're designing run. So here you want to block the outside most tight end. This is just a combination for the end zone. So this is a designed rollout. So basically, you're going to create a double team. So no matter what, even if they have contains, you can either throw it to the tight end as they're running across the field on the slant, or you've got the backside slant as a read as well, or you can also just run it in if they're taking away the slant. And that's it.